Hey dear learners, welcome back to e-learning platform of GS College of Commerce, Wardha. I, Assistant Professor Rajeshwari Sharma, welcome you all. This lecture is for the BCom Semester 1 for the subject Business Economics. In our last lecture, we have started with the second topic of our fourth unit, that is cost function or cost concept. Thereby we have seen the introduction of cost function and the different types of cost. Okay, in today's lecture we are going to see the behavior of different cost in short run. So we are going to understand this with the help of schedule as well as the curves. So what is basically the cost function? Cost function is a function which establishes or shows the relationship between the cost of output and cost of input. Here when we talk about the functional relationship between cost of output, so it is represented as CO is equals to FCI, where CO refers to cost of output, F refers to functional relationship and CI refers to cost of input. When we talk about cost of output, so it is dependent variable. And why it is dependent variable? Because it depends upon the cost of input, and cost of input is independent variable. So when we talk about the cost of input, so it consists of various types of cost, like cost of raw material, cost of labor, interest costs, etc. Okay, so cost of output depends on cost of input, and therefore cost of output is dependent variable and cost of input is independent variable. And cost function is a function which establishes relationship between the cost of output and the cost of input. Clear? Now we will see the behavior of different costs in short run. So when we talk about the behavior of cost in short run, so basically we study under this two types, that is total cost and average cost. Under total cost we are going to see total fixed cost, total variable cost and total cost. And under average cost we are going to see average fixed cost, average variable cost and average total cost. And then we are going to see the concept of marginal cost and how it behaves in short run. So let's start with the fixed cost. Now what is meant by fixed cost? While discussing the basic concept of cost, we have seen the meaning of fixed cost. We have seen that fixed cost is a cost which remains constant up to specific period of time. It is a cost which doesn't vary with the output. It is not the function of output. Like if I give you the example of rent, so it is fixed cost. Just assume I have a small room whereby I teach student, okay, and the rent of that room is 5,000 rupees per month. So either I am teaching to 10 students in that room, still I have to pay 5,000, or if the student is increasing to 10 to 20, 20 to 30, still I have to give the 5,000 rupees only to the landowner for that room. So that is why fixed cost is a cost which doesn't vary with the output. Take the another example. You make samosas, okay, and you have a small room for making samosas. You again pay 5,000 rupees as a rent for that room. So even though you are producing 10 samosas, still you have to pay 5,000 for the room. And even though if you are producing 500 samosas, still you have to pay only 5,000 as a room rent. Okay. So when we talk about the fixed cost, so it is a cost which doesn't vary with the level of output. It remains constant even though your output increases, and even though your output is reducing, it will not reduce. Even just assume for some day you have shut down the shop, for some day you have stopped the teaching, still you have to pay the rent of that room. So even though when your output is zero, you have to incur that fixed cost. Therefore, we say that fixed cost remains constant and it is not the function of output. It is not impacted by output up to a specific level. Like in our example, we have taken that fixed cost is 5,000 and output is increasing. Earlier it is 0. At 0 output, fixed cost is 5,000. When output is 1, again it's 5,000. And when output is further increasing 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So any level of output, you can see that fixed cost is rupees 5,000. So now when we are going to plot it in graph, so it will show us the behavior of total fixed cost in short run. So see, on x-axis output has been represented and on y-axis cost has been represented. Here you can see that even at 0 level of output, fixed cost is 5,000. When output is increasing from 0 to 1, still fixed cost is 5,000. When output is increasing to 2, still fixed cost is same. When output is further increasing 3, 4, 5, still fixed cost is remaining constant. So when you are going to join this point, you are going to get horizontal straight line, okay, which is parallel to x-axis, and this is known as fixed cost curve. So this way, when you are going to plot this on graph, you are going to get fixed cost curve which is horizontal to straight line. So this way, in short run, fixed cost remains constant. Okay. The next one we are going to see is variable cost. Now, when we were seeing the basic concept of cost, so we have seen the meaning of variable cost as well. What does mean by variable cost? As the name indicates, variable, changing. So the cost which varies or changes with the level of output is known as variable cost. Like, take the example of raw material. If you are producing more, you will require more raw material. If you are producing more, you will require more labors. Okay, so the cost of this raw material, the cost of this labors are known as variable cost, because when the output increases, so the variable cost also increases, and when the output declines, so the variable cost also declines, and at the 0 level of output, you will find variable cost is nil. Like in our example, at 0 level of output, you can see that variable cost is 0. When output is increasing to 1 unit, variable cost is increasing to rupees 500. Then when output is further increasing to 2, so variable cost is increasing to 1100. When output is further increasing to 3, it's further increasing to 1700. When output is further increasing to 4, 5, 6, so the variable cost is also increasing with output. It's getting 2000, 3000 and 8500 respectively. So this way, variable cost increases when your output increases and it declines when your output declines. So let's see how it behaves in short run. Okay. So when you are taking this, when you are considering output is 0, so at this point your variable cost would also remain 0. When your output is increasing to 1, your variable cost is getting 500, so it will come at this point. When output is further increasing to 2, it's becoming 1100, so it will be there on this point. Then when output is further increasing to 3, it's becoming 700, so it would be plotted here. When output is further increasing, so you can see that it's again increasing. When output is 4, so it is getting 2000. When output is getting 5, so it is getting 3000. And when output is further increasing to 8500, so it is when output is further increasing to 6 unit, so it is getting 8500. So here you can see that we have plotted different points on different level of outputs, okay, which representing the increasing variable cost at different levels of output. And when you are going to join all these points, so you would get upward sloping curve, okay, which shows that variable cost increases with increase in output. So this way variable cost increases with increase in output, and this curve is known as a total variable cost curve, okay, which is upward sloping curve. The next one we are going to see is total cost. When we talk about the total cost, so what is basically total cost? Total cost is the summation of total fixed cost plus total variable cost, and this total cost is also known as semi-variable cost. Why I am calling it semi-variable cost? Because when you talk about the semi-variable cost, so some portion of semi-variable cost remains fixed and some portion of semi-variable cost is variable. And when you are going to look at the total cost, so in total cost as well, you will find that some portion is there of total fixed cost and some portion is there of total variable cost. And that is why this total cost can also be known as total semi-variable cost. So we will see how it is plotted on graph. Again, it is x-axis where output is represented, and on y-axis cost is represented. So we have seen the behavior of total fixed cost. What kind of curve we get? We get a horizontal straight line curve in case of total fixed cost, okay. And when we talk about the variable cost, so what kind of curve we get in case of variable cost? We get upward sloping curve in case of variable cost. So when we talk about the total cost, so total cost is the summation of this total variable cost and total fixed cost. So now how this total fixed cost curve would be plotted, okay. So see, total fixed cost consists some portion of total cost curve consists some portion of total fixed cost and some portion of total variable cost. That is why it can be plotted on graph like this. See, it will start from here and it will slope upward. Why it will start from this point and why it will go upward? It's because, see, even when the level of output is 0, fixed cost is not 0, it's 5,000, you can see, okay. And when you are talking about the variable cost, so it is increasing with the increasing output. And as total cost consists both, that is total fixed cost and total variable cost, so it will never start from 0, okay. It will start at the point where the fixed cost start, and as it consists some portion of variable cost, so as we have seen, the variable cost increases with the increasing output. That is why this total cost curve would go upward. So this way you can see the behavior of total cost curve in short run. So here we are done with the behavior of total fixed cost, total variable cost and total cost in short run. Now we will see the average concept of average fixed cost, average variable cost, average total cost and marginal cost. So see, when we talk about the average, so what is basically the meaning of average? Average means per unit of output, per unit of output. Now if I say that output is 0, and how we are going to calculate the average fixed cost, okay. So here we would take total fixed cost divided by number of output, okay. So you can see that even though the output is 0, still total fixed cost is 5000. Okay, so the answer would be even though the total fixed cost is even though the output is 0, still the total fixed cost is 5000. So on 0, even at 0 level of activity, you have to incur fixed cost. When we talk about the when the output is 1 and the total fixed cost is 5000, so average fixed cost also remain 5000. But when the output increases further, so the average fixed cost starts declining. Like, see, when the output is 1, average fixed cost is 5000. But when the output is increasing to 2, so it would be 5000 divided by 2. So it would be 2500. So this way, when the output will increase further, so fixed cost will reduce. Okay, per unit of fixed cost per unit will reduce when the output will increase further. So therefore, if we talk about the behavior of average fixed cost, so it would be as follows. Like, again here on x-axis we are representing the cost and we are representing the output, and on y-axis we are representing cost. So we can see that even at the when we talk about the average fixed cost, so when the output is 0, so it is 5000, and as output increases, so it gets reduced. Therefore, in case of average fixed cost, we are going to get this such type of curve, which is showing declining fixed cost. Why? Why? Because when the units of output will increase, so the average fixed cost will decline. Okay, and this curve will not touch x-axis, will never touch x-axis. Why? Because even when the output is 0, we have to incur some amount of fixed cost, and therefore we are not going, this curve, average fixed cost curve, is not going to touch x-axis. Okay, because fixed cost can never become 0. So this way we get the average fixed cost curve, which shows that fixed cost declines with the increasing output. The next one is average variable cost curve. So now how average variable cost curve will behave, we will see it. See, when we talk about the average variable cost, so here we need to understand, we need to keep in mind one law, that is law of we have to keep in mind production function, whereby we have seen that when at the initial level amount of input increases, so the production also increases at increasing rate. Okay, so when the production increases at increasing rate, so cost declines at increasing rate. Okay, when we then we have seen that even though we increase the input further, still the production increases, but it increases at decreasing rate. So here the cost declines, but cost also declines at decreasing rate. Okay, and when we see a stage whereby the production remains constant, even though you are increasing the output, so your production will remain constant. So here the cost will also get constant, and even though you haven't stopped putting input in the production process, so you will get production in negatives. Means even after putting the inputs in the production process, your output will not increase, rather it will decline. So in this case, you will find that cost is increasing. Okay. So when we talk about the average cost curve, so at initial level, when output increases at increasing rate, so it will decline. Okay, it will decline at very faster rate, and then it will become constant for a certain period of time when the output will increase at the constant rate, and when your output will start becoming negative, so in that case your variable cost will increase, and therefore when you talk about the average variable cost curve, so here you get a U-shaped curve. Okay, here you get a U-shaped curve, which shows that when your output is increasing at increasing rate, so your average cost will decline at very faster rate. When there is going to be constant returns to scale, so the average cost will become constant for a certain period of time, and when your output will become negative, so your average cost will start increasing. Okay, here it's going up. So this way, in case of average variable cost curve, you get a U-shaped curve. The next one that we are going to see here is average total cost. Okay, so when we talk about the average total cost, so average total cost is basically the summation of average fixed cost and average variable cost. So now see how the average total cost curve is plotted on the graph. See, here we can see that the average fixed cost declines with the average fixed cost and average total variable cost both declines at the initial level of output. So average total cost will also show decline at initial level. After a specific point of time, we see that the average variable cost becomes constant. So here it's becoming constant, and after a specific period of time, we see that the average cost would start increasing. Why? Because your output is declining. So here you can see that this curve is also increasing. Okay. So when we talk about the average total cost curve, so it's also U-shaped curve because it consists some portion of average fixed cost and some portion of average variable cost. So this way we have seen the average fixed cost curve, average variable cost curve and average total cost curve. Now we have to see the concept of marginal cost that we are going to see in next lecture. So till then, keep studying. Thank you.